Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. We are continuing with our discussion of the Affidavit of Probable Cause signed by Detective Payne under oath back on December 29th, 2022. We're going to begin with the last three words on page number 6 and focusing the preponderance of this episode, page number 7, which continues to discuss the travels of suspect vehicle 1 according to Detective Payne. The bottom of page 6 reads as follows. Pullman, Washington is approximately 10 miles away from Moscow, Idaho. Both Pullman and Moscow are small college towns, and people commonly travel back and forth between them. Law enforcement officers provided video footage of suspect vehicle 1 to forensic examiners that regularly utilize surveillance footage to identify the year, make, and model of an unknown vehicle that is observed by one or more cameras during the commission of a criminal offense. The forensic examiner has approximately 35 years of law enforcement experience with 12 years at the feds. His specific training includes identifying unique characteristics of vehicles, and he uses a database that gives visual clues of vehicles across states to identify differences between vehicles. Next paragraph. After reviewing the numerous observations of suspect vehicle 1, the forensic examiner initially believed that suspect vehicle 1 was a 2011 through 2013 Hyundai Elantra. Upon further review, he indicated it could also be a 2011 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. As a result, investigators have been reviewing information on persons in possession of a vehicle that is a 2011 through a 2016 white Hyundai Elantra. Investigators were given access to video footage on the Washington State University, and then in parentheses, WSU campus, located in Pullman, Washington. A review of that video indicated that at approximately 2:44 a.m. on November 13th, 2022, a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of the white Elantra known as suspect vehicle 1, was observed on WSU surveillance cameras traveling north on Southeast Nevada Street at Northeast Stadium Way. At approximately 2:53 a.m., a white sedan, which is consistent with the description of white Elantra known as suspect vehicle 1, was observed traveling southeast on Nevada Street in Pullman, Washington, towards State Road 70. State Road 70 connects Pullman, Washington to Moscow, Idaho. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stop at this point because the next four words, concluding page 7, continues on to finish the sentence, page 8. We will go over that complete sentence in our next episode. At this time, I'd like to make a few observations, a few comments, a few opinions, speculation, rhetorical questions, as we do, exclusively pursuant to the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. This page, like the page before it and the page after it, is focusing on the alleged travels of what this PCA will ultimately conclude is one vehicle and one vehicle only, and that vehicle was Mr. Kohberger's 2015 Elantra. There has been since the time of this PCA's initial publication to the public at large at the beginning of January 2023, access to video that it appears Detective Payne is writing about. It's available online. Many content creators have published it, republished it, commented on it. I'll leave it to your opinion as to whether you believe that this is one continuous travel of one car, or alternatively, as some believe in voicing their opinions under the First Amendment, is more than one vehicle. Secondly, this apparent change in theory that this one vehicle that law enforcement was seeking was not a 2011 to a 2013 Elantra, as it's stated here on page number 7, but quote unquote, upon further review, the forensic analyst indicated it could also be a 2011 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. Now, what exactly happened to induce this forensic expert to change his opinion that it wasn't a 2011 through a 2013, but it could also be a 2011 to a 2016, is not stated here in the PCA. And because there was no trial, this expert never gave testimony in a public forum subject to cross-examination by Mr. Kohberger's defense counsel as to why his opinion changed, at what point his opinion changed, what evidence caused him to render a different opinion than he had originally given, that this could also be a 2011 to a 2016, which then brings in Mr. Kohberger's car into the equation here potentially. Then in tying the travels of one car that the PCA believes it was, that entered the Moscow area, that came close to the 1112 King Road neighborhood, that entered the neighborhood just before and then was seen speeding away from 1122 King Road just after the commission of the crimes, which the PCA says happened between 4 a.m. and 4:25. The reason, as we're going to learn, why they're talking about crossing over into Pullman is because Mr. Kohberger, as we're going to find out, the PCA states later on, attended Washington State University in Pullman, lived at a apartment in Pullman, worked at Washington State University as a teaching assistant. So we're going to continue on with the PCA as it continues to analyze the travels of suspect vehicle 1 in our next episode of this continuing podcast series, relooking at the PCA 3 years later. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here today.